Golden Age Radio is starting now. Subscribe to get future updates.
Hey everybody, get ready for some great shows. Starting out with Cavalcade of America, Lux Theater with some great Hollywood stars, Groucho Marx, one of the best comedians in history, and also followed by the hilarious Red Skelton.
Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont. Here it is, almost Christmas, and what a holiday season it is. Happier than we've had for some time because this year more people are able to enjoy more of the good things of life. At this time of year, the true Christmas spirit permeates our hearts and is reflected by those with whom we come in contact. In many cases, this spirit finds expression in Christmas gifts. And every holiday season brings us new things, gifts that are even more beautiful and more serviceable than those of previous years. Few of us are likely to pause and reflect about it, but the science of chemistry plays a large part in this yearly progress. In your Christmas stocking or under your tree will be packages gay with their colorful, sparkling cellulose wrappings made possible by chemistry. Many a package will contain something that the research chemist either helped to improve or actually created. On your holiday table will be fruits, candies, and foods that reached you in perfect condition thanks to better refrigeration and speedier transportation, in both of which chemistry plays an important part. The car you drive, the home in which you live, the very clothes you wear have all been improved by research chemistry. On behalf of the DuPont people throughout the nation, whose objectives are well expressed in the phrase, better things for better living through chemistry, I take this opportunity to wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. This evening, the Cavalcade of America pays tribute to one of the most beloved women of all time, Madame Ernestine Schumann-Heink, a great artist and a great humanitarian. The part of Madame Schumann-Heink will be sung by Helen Oldheim, prima donna contralto of the Metropolitan Opera Company, and played by Jeanette Nolan. The orchestra is under the direction of Don Voorhees.
Although born in Prague, Austria-Hungary, Madame Schumann-Heink became an American citizen and adopted America as her own land. The discovery that young Ernestine Rösler had been endowed with a remarkable voice came while the young girl was a student in the Ursuline convent in Prague. In 1877, when she was 16 years of age, her first great opportunity came. The famous tenor Labat, impressed with her voice, arranged an appointment for her to sing for the director of the Imperial Opera in Vienna. Ernestine is talking nervously with Labat in the wings of the great stage of the Imperial Opera.
I the shivers run up and down my back, Labat. I'm so frightened.
Oh, you will sing, child, when you hear the first bars played by the orchestra. And you must sing well. It is a real opportunity.
Yeah, my heart is filled with gratitude to you, Labat. But there is something not right. See, all these fine ladies of opera look at me so strangely. They smile. My dress is not of silk like theirs.
Oh, the eternal feminine. Forget your dress, child. It is the voice, and the voice alone that matters. A great director like Herr Zauner will not notice your gown. Yet, if I had thought, I would have suggested a new one.
But then I couldn't have come to Vienna. My father has a large family to support with only a major's pay. It was his friend, the rich Field Marshal Benedict, who gave me 50 gulden for the journey. Never could I have bought a silk dress, too.
Oh, it will not matter. Ah, the director signals. Courage, child. Forget this great opera house. Forget everything and sing from your heart. After your song is ended, you shall talk with the director.
Hellebuck, my throat is dry. Oh, I wish I was safe at home. I cannot sing.
The music, Ernestine. The drinking song from Lucrezia Borgia. It is your cue.
The director does not look at me. It does not smile. I think he does not like my voice.
Oh, you sang like an angel, Ernestine. Come, we shall hear his verdict. Herr Director, I wish to present to you Fräulein Ernestine Rössler.
Well, does she wish the truth, Herr Labat?
Ja, Herr Director. The truth of my voice I beg of you.
Surely, Herr Director, you feel as I do, that her voice holds great promise.
Promise? Perhaps. But why do you bring her to me? Why bring such a girl to the Imperial Opera in Vienna? You waste my time, the time of my orchestra.
Surely, you cannot mean...
Look at her. Such clothes, such poverty. She has nothing. What can I do for such a homely girl? What do you expect?
Homely. Yeah. It's true, I am homely. I did not think of that before. Yeah, we do have poverty at home. No money for fine dresses. But my voice, I thought my voice...
No, dear child. Go home quick. Go home and ask your kind friends who gave you money to come to Vienna to do for you one more favor. Tell them to buy you a sewing machine and learn to be a dressmaker, maybe, or something like that.
What thing?
But a singer, an opera singer, never. Never in this world.
But within a few months, a second opportunity came. Ernestine Rössler was invited to sing for the director of the Dresden Royal Opera. And this time she was engaged at a small salary. Then followed years of hard work, singing small parts, first in Dresden and then in Hamburg. Next, her marriage to Heinck, the birth of her first 4 children, the difficulty her husband had to support his family, and then the difference in their temperaments, their agreement to separate. And the prospect of a leading operatic role was growing dimmer with every passing year. For the prima donna of the Hamburg Opera, Madame Goethe, was a contralto like Ernestine Heinck and a bitter rival of her young potential competitor. One night at the Hamburg Opera, a half hour before the curtain was to rise on Carmen, with Ernestine singing a small part of Mercedes, her friend and fellow singer Marie Kaur burst excitedly into the dressing room.
Ernestine, have you heard? Marie, you're red in the face. Have I heard what?
Oh, such confusion, such a battle. Our high and mighty prima donna has had another quarrel with Polini, and she has this minute left the opera house.
Nein, it means nothing. She will come back. She always does.
No, this time it seems serious. And who will sing Carmen?
I tell you she will come back. Each scene like this with Polini, he enjoys. He admires her temperament, gives her another advance in pay.
Yeah, but Ernestine, Polini was truly in a rage. And she has gone, I tell you.
And I tell you she will come back. Marie, you and I make a great mistake not flying into those rages like Goethe. I myself have many faults. First, I am homely.
Not homely, Ernestine.
Yeah, homely. They told me that years ago. And second, I learned all the parts like a goose. Big parts and little parts I learned. I shall be an old lady before I ever sing a big part. And the biggest fault of all, I do not tear the hair of everybody in the opera. A prima donna must do that, it seems.
And, Ernestine, it is the director, Herr Polini.
Heinck, can you sing Carmen?
Carmen, did you say, Herr Director?
Yeah.
But certainly.
Can you sing Carmen tonight, in half an hour, I mean?
Tonight? Oh, yeah, tonight or any other night, Herr Director.
Did you ever study Carmen?
With my teacher when I was a girl, I studied it by ear.
By ear, did you say?
But I have watched every Carmen, Herr Director. I tell you, I shall sing Carmen tonight, or I shall die on that stage.
Such trouble. Well, make ready, Heinck, make ready. Find a costume. There's no one else. You must sing it. My anger with Goethe was so great, I told you could sing it as well as she.
I promise you I shall sing it, so that even you will believe. Do you think I have waited all these years for my chance, only to disgrace myself? Nein. Have no fear.
Well, you have less than half an hour to make ready, Heinck. And I have less than half an hour to be the laughing stock of all Hamburg.
In borrowed clothes, a skirt too long, shoes too tight, Ernestine Heinck sang Carmen for the first time and without a single rehearsal. In the wings, the director Polini waited for the verdict of the audience and shuddered. And in the opera house, music lovers, devotees of the prima donna Goethe, waited for the habanera, and doubted. Ernestine Heinck, remembering desperately the performances of all the Carmens she had ever seen, sings. That last-minute substitution in the role of Carmen proved a turning point in Ernestine Heinck's career. She soon became one of Germany's leading soloists. And in 1896, when she was 35 years of age, she reached what she believed to be the pinnacle of her career. She was engaged by Cosima Wagner, widow of Richard Wagner, to sing the leading contralto roles at the Wagnerian festivals in Bayreuth. Her fame was now assured throughout Europe. The next season, while she was singing in Vienna, there occurred an incident which Schumann Heinck was to cherish to the last day of her life. Now the concert in Vienna has reached its close. The audience has been shouting for an encore, and now the great contralto appears again on the stage. She signals for silence.
My dear friends, this minute I receive great good news. The greatest honor ever paid to me. There is seated here in this opera house, in this very first row, one of the few great composers of our day. And I am so proud. He has come tonight to hear me sing. Here is your friend, my friend, a friend to all the world. He is Johannes Brahms. Not many years ago in Hamburg, when I was an unknown contralto, this generous and great musician heard me sing. And he was, so warm in his praise, so kind. My heart is filled to overflowing this night, because he is here. I will sing for you now, and for him, this most beautiful song. A song with which I lull to sleep my blessed baby. To the stage. The applause, it is all for you, for your wonderful lullaby.
I am an old man. My voice will not be heard in this large house. I have not many years to remain on this earth, but I shall depart in peace. Tonight, I have heard my lullaby sung as I always dreamed it should be sung. Dear Heinz, will you sing it after I am gone, so the world will not forget me and my music too quickly?
Meister, believe me, Herr Brahms, while there remains in this world a mother, and while there is alive on this earth a singer, your lullaby will live in the hearts of men and women.
In 1898, Schumann Heinz signed a contract with Maurice Grau, impresario of the Metropolitan Opera in New York, and with her second husband, the actor-manager Paul Schumann, she set sail for the New World, America. On November 7th, 1898, Chicago, the American debut of Schumann Heinz singing Ortrud in Wagner's opera Lohengrin, the final aria. Sanctum is the first to greet her as she leaves the stage.
Ernestine, Liebchen. Oh, you are in beautiful voice. The people are still shouting for you.
Paul, when the times of the curtain was upon me.
Yeah.
When the times, my heart is filled with happiness.
Yeah.
Paul, do you hear that?
Yeah, I do not understand.
Paul, they're hitting me.
Oh, it cannot be. This America is a strange land, but surely they would not first applaud and then hiss you.
Oh, they are hitting me.
Herr Grau is coming. We shall ask him what this means.
Oh, Paul.
You are wonderful. What is this?
Herr Grau,
You are
the
not
Americans are not hitting us.
Oh, they are whistling. It is the greatest flattery in the world. Never have I heard such a thing in the opera. You are a sensation, brava.
Whistling, Mr. Herr Grau.
Madame, you were magnific. The greatest debut that the opera has ever seen. See, all these people are waiting at your dressing room to compliment you.
Madam Schumann Heinz. May a mere music critic be permitted to take your hand? Madam, you have the greatest contralto voice America has ever heard.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Madam Schumann, my daddy sings in the opera. He said you would let me speak to you.
Oh, such a beautiful child. Come here, my little one. Let me hold you in my arms.
I'd like to hear you sing, Madam Schumann. It was wonderful.
Ah, my little one. That compliment brings tears to my foolish eyes. See, Paul, is she not like our little Lotta?
Who is Lottie, Madam Schumann?
My darling little girl who's with her großmutter in Germany.
Well, my daddy told me to stay only 1 minute. Good night, Madam Schumann.
Good Nacht, and God bless you, my child.
Half the city of Chicago wants to congratulate you. Are you too tired? Shall I send them over?
Nein, I'm never too tired. I wish I might clasp the hand of every man, woman, child in America. I feel deep down in my heart, Herr Grau, that every American is my friend. Ah, I will love America.
Madam Schumann Hank's youngest child was born 4 weeks after that triumphant Chicago debut. In New York City a month later, Paul Schumann tiptoes into the sitting room of their hotel suite. His wife, the great prima donna, is rocking contentedly while she lulls her baby to sleep.
Paul, is it you?
Yeah.
What can
The baby sleeping, Jeannie?
See, Paul. He sleeps with a smile on his sweet face.
Yeah.
It is as I told Ray Johannes Brahms that time in Vienna. His lullaby belongs to every age and to the babies of all nations.
An immortal melody.
Yeah. Our little American baby loves Brahms just like my other darling German baby.
Our American baby. One might think we had adopted our child in this country.
Aber nein, Paul. I have adopted America. The day I stepped from the boat, I felt I had come home. And Paul, now at last I have the name for our baby.
Oh, I am glad. Such worry over a name. You have not slept for nights thinking about it, Jimmy.
We shall name him George Washington.
George Washington?
Yeah. Do you not agree? George Washington Schumann. Our American baby shall have the name of the first great American president. It is fitting that it be so. And I shall be American forever. This is my land. But, Paul, when I rock to sleep my little George Washington, he shall hear always the lullaby of the great Brahms. Music is international. Like a mother's love, it speaks every language.
Madam Schumann Hank was recognized everywhere, America, Europe, the Orient, as the world's foremost Wagnerian contralto. But to the American people, there are two simple songs which will always be identified with her name. One is Brahms' beautiful lullaby. The other is equally beloved. Schumann Hank's presentation of this song has become one of the most cherished traditions of radio. On each Christmas Eve, Mother Schumann Hank sang this song. Those who heard her will never forget the vibrant warmth of her voice. They felt her genuine love and sympathy for all mankind as she sang the beautiful Silent Night. The Cavalcade of America salutes the memory of a great artist.
Next week at this same time, DuPont will again present the Cavalcade of America. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents George Arliss in Disraeli. Lux presents Hollywood. For your loyalty to Lux Flakes, we say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Each week it is gratifying to receive the many letters you send us commending our program. But it is still more gratifying to get your letters telling us how much you like Lux Flakes. Thank you again for your purchases of our product. Tonight we bring you another banner dramatic event, George Arliss in Disraeli, with an all-star supporting cast featuring Florence Arliss and Pat Patterson. Our guest producer is again that genial gentleman and world-famous screen star, Mr. Edward Arnold. Our regular producer, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille, will be back in his usual place here next Monday night and every week thereafter. Tonight we hear him from New York City with the special guest of the evening, Major Edward Bowles. Louis Silvers directs our music. And now we begin the show with word from our guest producer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Edward Arnold.
Thank you, Melville Ruick, and good evening, everyone. With the presence on our stage tonight of Mr. George Arliss, a new chapter in radio history is written. Not merely because Mr. Arliss considered to interrupt his first vacation in many, many years to be with us tonight, but because this is his first time in his magnificent career that he has appeared on the radio in a dramatic vehicle. For such an event, it is only fitting that our play should be Disraeli. I doubt if there's any actor in the world who has brought more honor to his profession, who is more respected and more beloved than Mr. Arliss. And I also doubt if any actor in the history of the theater has been more closely associated with a certain character than Mr. Arliss is with England's great statesman, Benjamin Disraeli. For 5 consecutive years, he played the part on the stage, and it later became his greatest triumph on the screen. As in the film, the part of Lady Beaconsfield, Mrs. Disraeli, is played by the wife of our star, by that lovely, gracious lady, Florence Arliss. You may wonder why this character is called Lady Beaconsfield, while her husband is called Mr. Disraeli. There's an historical reason. When offered a peerage, Benjamin Disraeli declined to accept it for himself in order to retain his place in the English House of Commons. He accepted it only for his wife, knowing that it would please her. It was years later before he himself resumed the title. Our play, adapted from the original by Louis N. Parker, has 2 other outstanding parts. those of Lady Clarissa and Viscount Charles Deford. As Clarissa, we welcome Miss Pat Patterson of Walter Ranger Productions, star of the new film 52nd Street and the wife of Charles Boyer. Miss Patterson has just returned to Hollywood from 3 months in Paris. And as Charles Deford, we hear G.P. Huntley, Jr. And now, on with the play. The Lux Radio Theater presents George Arliss and Disraeli with Florence Arliss and Pat Patterson. A corner of Hyde Park, London, in the year 1875. Perched on a large box, a shabbily dressed professional agitator is haranguing a crowd of idlers and malcontents. The agitator waves his stubby arms, shouting angrily.
I ask you, and I ask you again, who is this here Disraeli? That he should be Prime Minister of England?
He's all right.
Disraeli, whose grandfather was a high-tellier. He's a blooming foreigner, that's what. Yes, and I ain't the only one against him. In the House of Commons, Mr. William Gladstone is speaking against him today. Gladstone. He's speaking against Disraeli there, just like I'm...
Order, please. Proceed, Mr. Gladstone. Thank you. Gentlemen, it is Mr. Disraeli's expressed wish to see our Queen Victoria crowned Empress of India. It is also his expressed wish to commit us in the face of Russia to a foreign policy of imperialism and expansion that makes me tremble for England's safety. I say that in proposing such a policy, the Honorable Prime Minister has branded himself an unfaithful guardian of England's welfare, an unworthy counselor of England's sovereign, a dangerous enemy of England. The Prime Minister.
Thank you. And now that Mr. Gladstone, with his customary eloquence and customary tact, has expressed his customary disapproval. And the issue, gentlemen, is this. Whether you will be content to be a comfortable England, meeting in due course a sad, inevitable fate, or whether you will be a great country, an imperial country, a country where your sons, when they rise, will rise to paramount positions and obtain not merely the esteem of their countrymen, but the esteem of the world. Perhaps you think that because no war clouds darken the present horizon, there is no danger. Have you ever seen one of those marine landscapes on the coast of South America? You behold a range of exhausted volcanoes. Not a flame flickers on a single pallid crest. But beneath is a sleeping menace that will someday awake. That is all.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning, Mary. How are you, my dear?
I slept quite well. You didn't, I hear.
Nonsense. 3 full hours.
Then I won't bother you about the party.
But I'm dying to be bothered.
Well, here's the list of invitations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah? Well, the Duke and Duchess of Glastonbury and Lady Clarissa.
Dear Clarissa, you know, she thinks you're the greatest man in the world. And she's right.
Yeah. Oh, Viscount Deford, yes, young Deford will come to protect Clarissa from my diabolical influence. And, by the way, I want you to invite Mrs. Travers.
Mrs. Travers? Why, Dizzy, we scarcely know her.
A very fascinating woman. I'm anxious to cultivate her acquaintance.
Why, Dizzy?
I have a feeling that Mrs. Travers is rather interested in the international policies of England.
Interested as an Englishwoman or as a...
Ah, that, my dear, is what I propose to find out.
The Duke and Duchess of Hereford, Mr. Vernon Rockwood and Mrs. Howell, Sir Michael Probert and Lady Probert.
Ah, Sir Michael.
Sir Michael.
Good evening, Lady Beaconsfield. Good evening, Mr. Disraeli. The Russian ambassador, Count Bozanov.
My dear Bosnov.
My esteemed friend, good evening. And Lady Beaconsfield.
Good evening, Count Bolzanov.
I'm happy to see you here. Although the paths of Russia and England seem bound to cross, their ministers may still be friends, eh?
Thank you, Mr. Disraeli. You are very kind.
Mrs. Travers.
Oh, wait, Bosnov. Mrs. Travers.
Good evening, Mr. Disraeli. So good of you to ask me, Lady Beaconsfield.
Mrs. Travers, may I present Count Bosnov, the Russian ambassador? Or perhaps you've already met.
I don't believe we have. How do you do, Count Bosnov?
How do you do, Mrs. Travers? My arm?
Thank you so much, Count Bosnov.
Did you notice them, Mary?
I think they have met before.
Oh, what a suspicious pair we are.
Lady Clarissa, Viscount Defoe.
Mr. Disraeli.
Clarissa, more charming than ever.
Good evening, Lady Beaconsfield. Good evening, dear. Here's Charles. We came together.
Defoe, very glad to see you.
How do you do?
You're fortunate to escort such a charming young lady, Charles. And I am fortunate to be shaking her by the hand. Winter hand in hand with spring. Innocence with
guile.
Experience. Same thing. Run along now. Run along, Clarissa.
Clarissa.
Mary, that young man doesn't like me.
Shall we sit out here for a while, Clarissa?
Very well. Why do you dislike Mr. Disraeli so much, Charles?
What? I neither like him nor dislike him.
Oh, don't you feel lonely?
Lonely?
You are the only man in all the world who neither likes nor dislikes Mr. Disraeli.
Yes, I know how you admire him, but we won't argue about that now. I want to speak to you, Clarissa, about something important.
Well?
Clarissa, your mother has given me her gracious permission to address you.
Was her permission needed?
Well, I'm rather a stickler for form, you know.
Yes, I know.
Clarissa, I consider it my duty to marry.
Do you?
As you know, I'm very much interested in the working man. I have plans for building model cottages with every modern improvement. I trust my wife and I will show our humble friends a model English household. Model children, in short, a model...
Charles, you'll think me very silly, but is this an offer of marriage?
Why, I hoped I'd made that clear without offensive plainness of speech.
How wonderful. I mean the manner of your proposal.
What?
You are a young man of 25, and I'm a girl of 19, and you come to me with an essay on political economy.
I beg your pardon.
Charles, you've made a horrible hash of the whole thing.
Clarissa.
I do like you. I like you very much. But your model cottages leave me cold.
But, Clarissa...
If ever I marry, and I hope I shall, I want a husband who is at the bottom and is climbing on hands and knees, with his eyes fixed on the summit. Never mind if he never gets there. I can help him to climb, and if he falls, I can fall with him.
But I can stop.
No, you were born at the top. You sit in a rarefied atmosphere like the gods on Olympus and design model cottages.
I see I have made a mistake.
Yes, Charles. Shall we go in now?
Mr. Disraeli?
Yes?
A telegram for you, sir.
Just come?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Joe. Basket.
Yes, sir?
Find the Bank of England.
Find the Bank
I mean the manager of the Bank of England, Sir Michael Probert. I want to see him alone in the library.
Yes, sir.
What an opportunity. Sit down, Sir Michael, sit down.
Well, what is it now?
Sir Michael, I've just received an astounding... One moment, please.
Why are you closing the window?
Extraordinary how voices travel.
Eh?
And how pretty ears come halfway to meet them.
What?
I thought I caught a glimpse of my dear friend, Mrs. Travers.
Why, what's all this secrecy about?
Listen to this telegram. It came a moment ago from Egypt, Cairo. Have secret information that Ismail Pasha, Khedive of Egypt, is in urgent need of funds and will sell controlling shares in Suez Canal for £5 million.
Well?
A tremendous opportunity for England, Sir Michael.
You don't mean that in earnest?
Pardon me, in dead earnest.
Do you seriously mean you're thinking of purchasing the Suez Canal?
I was never more serious.
And you want the Bank of England to back you?
Temporarily. until Parliament meets.
Then let me tell you at once, I'll never consent. I shall not allow the bank to play at ducks and drakes with its money on an Egyptian ditch.
An Egyptian ditch? That's rather neat. Only it's not ducks and drakes because Russia, too,
Oh,
is...
that ancient bugbear.
That ever-present peril. Russia knows of this opportunity to purchase the high road to India. If she sees the slightest move on my part, she'll snap up the canal like that.
Your scheme is harebrained. The canal's a confessed failure.
Really?
Whatever doesn't pay is a failure. And it's silting up, sir. Silting up. Soon the only ship sailing on it will be the ship of the desert. I mean the camel, sir.
Yes, I thought you meant the camel.
Beware of the East. Remember Pharaoh, sir. Remember Pharaoh.
Yes, but what about Moses?
Well, he was a Jew.
Huh?
Well, he was privileged.
And you won't help me?
Oh, on the contrary. I rejoice to think I've made this rash enterprise impossible.
Oh, but you haven't.
What? Where will you go for the money?
Where Pharaoh went. I shall go to Moses.
Well, at any rate, it'll be no use coming to me, and that's final.
Nothing is final, Sir Michael. In the unlikely event of Moses failing me, I may send for you again.
And I shall not come.
I think you will.
Dizzy, have you quarreled with him?
No, my dear, but he's missed his opportunity. I must get hold of Myers.
Hugh Myers, the banker?
Hugh Myers, the banker. That's the man, Mary. That's the man.
Dizzy, I hope you're not borrowing money.
No, no. Well, just a trifle. Only a few millions. We'd better get back to our guests, my dear.
There's Charles in the garden, looking like a thundercloud.
I'll tell you why. He has asked Clarissa to marry him, and she's refused him.
Oh?
Mary, I'm going to play fairy godfather and bring them together.
You, a matchmaker. As if you hadn't enough to do.
But think what a splendid couple they'd make.
Ah, Dizzy. Always dreaming a romance.
And living one, my dear, while you are by my side. Excuse me, Mary. Ah, Lord Deefer. I've been looking for you.
Really? And I desire a word with you.
There. Now, I know that tone of voice so well.
What do you mean?
It's the tone of an angry man. Now, what can have put you out?
Mr. Disraeli, Clarissa has refused me.
Yes? Well?
And I attribute her refusal to your influence.
I see. I was thoroughly justified in thinking well of you.
What?
You have courage, or you would never say that to me. Do you take a girl's no as final?
I suppose she knows her own mind.
Certainly. But make her change it.
How?
I'm glad you're asking me to help you. Because I'm interested in you.
Interested in me? Why?
Because England stands in terrible need of men of your stamp.
Oh, I can't see that. England was never so prosperous as now. She has a wise aristocracy, an industrious middle class, and a contented and happy peasantry.
Splendid, splendid. How many old Tory squires have I heard talk just like that? Is that how you talk to Clarissa?
I do not discuss politics with women.
I do. Sit down. Listen. England is as isolated as a ship lying off the coast. A ferment is at work all over the world. Titanic forces have been unchained, forces of which you have no conception. The spirit of nationality has awakened everywhere. All the nations must expand, and everywhere our empire is in their way. Russia, for instance. Now, while England stands alone, while France is crippled, now is Russia's opportunity to snatch at India. With India lost, the whole fabric crumbles, and England sinks into insignificance, a Belgium at sea. Now do you see why Clarissa refused you? These are the things I've told her. Do you wonder she wants a man of action? Do you wonder she's not content to be a mere duke's wife?
I see. But what can I do? What can any one man do?
What one man has already done.
You, sir? But how can I hope to emulate you?
You're going to learn. Will you learn?
Will you teach me, sir?
Yes.
How can I begin? What's the solution? Is it war?
War is never a solution. It's an aggravation.
What then is the solution?
A very small thing. A thing men are laughing at.
What, sir?
A ditch. A ditch dug in sand.
A ditch?
A ditch dug in shifting sand.
You mean...
I mean... Ah, Mrs. Trevor. Is that you in the shadow of the trees there? I thought I recognized you.
I just came out for a breath of air.
An unexpected pleasure. We were in the thick of a very interesting discussion. I say that a ditch dug in sand gives the best soil for celery.
Sand?
Yes, sand.
Is it?
Come here, Mary. Here, Clarissa. I have a bit of news for you.
For me?
For you, my dear. Lord Deford has just done me the honor of accepting a secretaryship.
Mr. Disraeli.
Charles! Oh, Charles!
Clarissa, I may do something yet.
Oh, I know you will. My congratulations, Lord Deford. You'll have many things to teach him, Mr. Disraeli.
Mr. Disraeli has already begun.
Yes, I've been teaching him what it took me many years to learn.
And what is that?
Dear lady, that a ditch dug in sand gives the best soil for celery.
It's intermission time in the Lux Radio Theater. George Alice, Florence Alice, and Pat Patterson return in just a moment to go on with Act Two of Disraeli. Now, during this intermission, we invite you to enter a word game. It's easy and lots of fun. Here's how it's played. In the Lux playlet you are about to hear, there are three characters: Mary Jane, her mother, and her Aunt Nancy. During the conversation, they will mispronounce three words. The scene is a house on the north side of Hollywood. Mary Jane is celebrating her 12th birthday, and her Aunt Nancy arrives with a present. See if you can pick out the three words they say wrong.
Mother, look. Aunt Nancy's given me 2 pairs of silk stockings.
How lovely. Really, Nancy, you shouldn't have done it. You've been spoiling that child since the day she was born.
Oh, Mother, I've been positively dying for a pair of silk stockings. You know, Aunt Nancy, these are my very first.
I'm glad you like them, honey. I only hope she appreciates how exquisite they are and doesn't go running through hedges with them on.
But, Mother, only this morning you just leaned over to pick something up and yours went into an awful run.
That's just it. That's why you have to be so careful. Well, let me give you both the tip. The time to start being careful is the very first time you wash them. You use Lux Flakes, and you won't get so many runs. It saves the elasticity of the silk.
Here are the three mispronounced words. Mary Jane said positively. The word is positively, as in, the way Lux Flakes cut down stocking runs is positively miraculous. Mary Jane's mother said exquisite. She should have said exquisite. As, for example, every smart woman likes the way Lux keeps stockings exquisitely new-looking. And the last and most important word Aunt Nancy pronounced, elasticity. But no matter how she pronounces elasticity, she certainly knows what it means. Some soaps contain harmful alkali, and this weakens elasticity, leaves the delicate stocking threads brittle, apt to break into runs. Rubbing with cake soap often pulls and tears the threads, too. Lux Flakes save elasticity and cut down on runs. So always wash stockings in gentle Lux. Back now to Edward Arnold.
We continue with Disraeli, starring George Alice with Florence Alice and Pat Patterson. A few days have passed, and Charles, to Clarissa's delight, has begun his apprenticeship under the great Disraeli. In the inner sanctum of his office at 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister sits at his desk, a slow smile creasing his wily old face. On the other side of the desk is Hugh Myers, the banker.
Mr. Disraeli, the money is on its way.
Good. From
the Argentine.
When will it arrive?
In 3 weeks, to be placed at my disposal in the Bank of England.
The Bank of England? That's rather humorous.
Why?
Nothing. I was thinking of Probert. Mr. Myers, I can't sufficiently thank you for coming to my rescue.
Don't try. Goodbye, Mr. Disraeli.
Let me see you to the door.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir.
My dear Folger, forgive me. I didn't know you were so close to the other side of the door. I'm afraid I banged your head.
Sorry, sir. I was just coming in with some dispatches, and I dropped one, and
yes,
I...
Yes, of course. Let me introduce you. Mr. Hugh Myers. This is my confidential secretary, Mr. Folger. Such a worker. Well, goodbye, Mr. Myers.
Goodbye.
Mr. Folger, where is Deford?
In the anteroom, sir, with Lady Clarissa.
Charles,
Oh, yes, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Disraeli.
Good morning, my dear. Charles, did Foljam make any comment on my visitor?
Why, yes, sir, he did. Very impertinent, too, I thought.
What did he say?
He suggested you were seeing Myers about money for... Shall I speak in Clarissa's presence?
Yes, go on.
About the Suez Canal.
What did you say?
Not a word. I just stood up, sir, and glared at him.
Oh.
What's the matter, sir?
What more could you have said if you talked for an hour?
Well, do you accuse me of speaking?
No, sir. I accuse you of holding your tongue too eloquently.
Oh, well, he's easily muzzled.
How?
Put him on his parole. I'll fetch him.
Capital. Fetch him by all means. He was in the next room a moment ago.
Why, he's gone. The window's open. He's gone.
Yes. Shall I tell you where he is? He's at Victoria Station, catching the 10:30 express, on his way to Ostend, to Trieste, and so to Cairo, to put in a bid for the Suez Canal.
Mr. Disraeli, who is he?
He's Mrs. Travers' husband.
What?
Yes. He and she are agents, spies. Russia has sent them here to discover what you have told him.
But why did you employ him knowing he was a spy?
Because I knew it. Because I once had him under my eye. I had him on a false scent when you...
When I blundered?
When you lost control of your features.
I'm sorry, sir.
Will you tell us why silence is so important?
Oh, now it's of no importance whatever. Today, Myers gave me a blank check. I thought the thing was done. But now Foljam knows, Russia knows. Whatever sum I offer, they will double.
Is there no remedy?
Of course there is.
What, sir?
I must send a man to Cairo with unlimited powers, ready to outbid anything, ready to pay on the nail.
What must be the man's qualifications, sir?
A strong, stern, silent man. Subtle and cunning, fighting wiliness with wiliness.
Have you such a man, sir?
No, but I'll find him.
Oh.
What is it, Clarissa?
For a moment while he was speaking, I had hoped that perhaps Charles...
Don't say it, Clarissa. Don't say it.
Yes. Do say it, Clarissa. Do say it. For there's another kind of man who might be twice as useful.
What kind?
A man so honest that the rogues would think him a rogue. So truthful they'd swear he was lying. So simple they'd never fathom him. Charles, you are the man.
Charles!
I? To be trusted with this mission after what I've done?
Why not?
Oh, but I'm a useless, conceited idler. A perfect and complete fool.
Well, granting that. I didn't say it. But granting that, it's an excellent reason for sending you. Will you go?
Will I go?
Ah! There's your man in action, Clarissa. But I warn you, Charles, there'll be grave danger. You ready to meet it? I mean, danger of death.
Yes, sir.
Death?
Every step of the way. Every hour of the day. Danger lurking in every seductive disguise.
I didn't know.
Clarissa, my child, do you forbid him to go?
I can't forbid.
Yes, you can. He shall obey you. But think a moment. If you forbid and he obeys, and I send that other man, how will you feel?
Clarissa.
You must go.
Charles, my boy, you leave in 10 minutes for Cairo. Oh, good morning, Clarissa. Our charming guest rises early.
Good morning. Any news, Mr. Disraeli?
Not yet.
Not yet, not yet. It should have come days ago, shouldn't it?
Patience, my dear.
Oh, goodness.
Don't be alarmed. It's only my peacocks singing.
Good morning, Dizzy.
Mary, my dear, had a good night?
Of course I have. Slept like a top.
Oh, I'm so glad. You said last night you didn't feel very well.
What's that? Mary.
Now, Dizzy, it's quite all right.
But is it? Are you sure, dear?
Clarissa, listen to him. He doubts everybody's word. He doubts mine.
Well, if you've spoken the truth, you shall have your morning's offering. Excuse me, my dear.
Clarissa, never speak of my health before Dizzy. Promise.
But is anything the matter?
Nothing. Well, nothing to make a fuss about. Dr. Williams says I must be very careful. I am. So that's all right. Now mind, not a word to Dizzy.
Here you are, my dear. The last rose of summer.
Thank you, Dizzy.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Well?
Telegram, sir.
Oh!
Thank you.
What is it? Oh, please.
It is from Cairo.
What did he say?
He says the celery is ripe to cut.
The celery is ripe to cut? Well,
what does it mean?
It means the Suez Canal purchase is completed and the check accepted.
Dizzy!
Yes.
He succeeded!
Superbly!
Oh, thank
Let her cry, Mary. Let her cry. It's worth it.
Mr. Disraeli?
What is it, Basket?
Mr. Hugh Myers, sir.
Myers! Just the man I wanted to see. Show him into the library.
Yes, sir.
Well, good morning, Mr. Myers.
Good morning.
I was just about to send you a telegram. I've heard from...
One moment, sir. I want you to hear me first.
Well?
I don't know how to tell you. It's so much harder than I expected.
Well, tell me.
Mr. Disraeli, I'm bankrupt.
What?
My house...
I didn't quite catch.
My house is bankrupt.
Bankrupt? Myers bankrupt? Are you mad?
I wish to heaven I were.
You mean you're temporarily pressed? You're in temporary difficulties?
I mean we are bankrupt.
Well, how? A house like yours? What have you been doing? What's
up? It's not our fault.
Well, explain.
First, the ship with the bullion, coming from the Argentine.
Yes?
Gone down.
Wrecked?
Scuttled.
You mean...
I mean purposely and criminally sunk. All the crew saved. A conspiracy. And that isn't all.
What else?
Well, for a long time, ever since our interview in Downing Street, rumors affecting my credit have been spread abroad. And now, this mysterious wreck. I'm being pressed.
I see.
Be as angry as you like. You're justified. I've been an honest man all my life. And now I stand before you in the light of a common cheat.
Mr. Myers, I know you, sir. Give me your hand.
Thank you.
Does anyone else know?
No one. I came to you first. We can't carry out the canal contract, of course. Thank heaven I'm in time. Thank heaven that hasn't gone through.
But it has.
What?
The telegram just arrived. They've accepted the check.
What? What can we do?
When will your bankruptcy be known, Myers?
Tonight. Tomorrow morning.
By heaven, it shall not. Get back to town, quickly. Get to your office. Stay there. I'm sure you're there. Don't budge if I keep you there all night. And don't breathe a word. And don't let anyone else. Don't give the slightest hint of anything unusual. Treat the wreck lightly. Watch your words, watch your looks. Something may happen. Something shall happen.
What, sir? What?
Heaven only knows. Go. Oh. Mary.
Yes, dear?
Shut the door, Mary.
What is it?
Mary, you've stood by me in many horrible predicaments. I'm in the worst I was ever in.
Is it Myers?
Myers is bankrupt.
Does that mean we are poor?
No. Oh, if that were all.
Then?
Myers was finding the money for the canal.
I
Wait.
see.
Deeford has handed in the check. Now Myers has failed. We can't pay.
And you?
I?
Yes, dear. I want to know how this will affect you.
What does that matter?
It's all that matters to me.
I hadn't thought of that. What will happen to me? Disgrace. Utter and irretrievable. The kind of disgrace no man can bear. No man can live through.
Dizzy.
Yes, by heaven, I will bear it. I'll face the nation. I'll bear it alone.
Not alone, dear.
Thank God for you, Mary. Thank God for you.
We pause for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. In a moment, we go on with Act 3 of Disraeli, starring George Arliss. In our audience tonight are many of the famous men and women of Hollywood, assembled to honor our star. Looking over our audience from a fashion point of view, you would see that many of our well-known feminine guests are in formal evening dress. Others have come direct from their work in the studios wearing the informal sports type of clothes that Hollywood likes to work for work or play. That often means sweaters and skirts, just the sort of thing girls all over the country like to live in. And here in Hollywood, as in every part of the country, the favorite care for sport things is Lux Flakes. As one Lux user puts it, she is Mrs. Clarence Tokheim of Armstrong, Iowa, and is the mother of 5 girls.
All of my girls wear sweaters in the wintertime, and every week or so, they're luxed. Their woolen skirts and school coats are frequently luxed, too. I marvel at the speed and thoroughness of Lux, and the way it leaves the softness and color of the material like new.
Lux Flakes do save colors and keep wool things soft, unshrunken, because they are very gentle and free from harmful alkali. Just follow the directions on the Lux box, and remember, anything safe in water is safe in Lux Flakes. And here's our guest producer, Mr. Edward Arnold.
George Arliss, Florence Arliss, Pat Patterson, and our all-star cast continue in Disraeli. It's a few minutes later. Torn with anguish by the news of her husband's impending disgrace, Mary stands resolutely by his side. She has grown pale, and there is an expression of pain in her eyes, but she hides it bravely and speaks comfortingly.
It will turn out all right, Dizzy. It will. But shouldn't we go up to London?
I can't. The Prime Minister can't stir without setting the whole world agog. The papers have said I'm ill. If I was seen in Downing Street now, when I'm supposed to be sick in bed, it would start tongues wagging all over London. Horrible, Mary. I'm tied, hand and foot. What is it, Basket?
Mrs. Travers is here, sir.
Mrs. Travers?
I'll get rid of her.
Get rid of her? No. Basket. Ask her to wait. Show him when I ring.
Dizzy, you're surely not going to receive her now.
Must keep her here.
Why?
She must stay here. She mustn't be allowed out of our sight. If she gets the slightest hint that I'm making any plans to... Here. Give me my dressing gown. Let me lie on the couch. You sit next to me, my dear. Hold my hand.
Dizzy, what is this play acting?
I'm ill. Very ill. The papers have said I'm ill. She shall see the sickest man she ever saw in her life.
But Dizzy!
Shh, be careful. Oh.
Lady Beaconsfield. Oh, I'm so sorry. I heard Mr. Disraeli was ill. I didn't know whether to come or not. I'm quite sure you can't want me.
Is that Mrs. Travers, dear?
Yes, dear.
Oh.
I'd no idea you were so ill. I won't stay a moment.
The sweet Mrs. Travers. That's so good of you. I'm very weak. Very weak.
What is the matter?
Well, I'm very weak. I'm very glad to see you. You're so bright, so young. Isn't it good of her, Mary? Do sit down. There, where I can see you.
I'm so sorry you're ill. I passed Clarissa in the hall. She's not looking very well either.
Worried about Charles.
Oh, yes. He's abroad somewhere, isn't he?
Yes. He's in Egypt.
I do hope he's not too venturesome. Cairo is such a dreadful place. And the people you meet on diplomatic missions, one can never trust them.
No.
So sly.
Terrible.
So deceitful.
But don't be uneasy. We've just heard from Deaford.
Indeed?
Yes. Had a telegram. Where is that telegram, Mary? There it is, on the table. Read it for yourself, Mrs. Travers.
The celery is ripe to cut. How odd.
Code, dear lady, code. That little green book there contains the key to it.
Really? How interesting.
We have to be careful, you know. Spies.
Yes, of course.
My peacocks. Mary, something's wrong with them.
Dizzy, there's nothing wrong.
Yes. Help me to the balcony. I must see they're all right.
Very well, dear. Lean on my arm.
Pardon me, Mrs. Travers.
Of course, Mr. Disraeli. Lizzie, you left her in there with the code book.
I know. Look, she's tearing a page out of it. She's slipping it into her glove.
Dizzy.
Mary, I want you to go and fetch Sir Michael Probert at once.
But Mrs. Travers.
I'll look after her. Hurry. I want that woman alone. Oh, Mr. Travers, the doctors really don't know what is the matter with me. It seemed to come on suddenly. Pains in the head But I'm boring you.
Not at all, except that I really must be
But how is your husband, Mrs. Travers? He's very ill, too, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Poor Adolphus.
Oh, poor Adolphus.
Mr. Disraeli, I really must go.
No. Why in such a hurry?
I must. My cab is waiting.
No, I sent that away long ago.
What?
Don't be angry. What a dainty hand.
Please, let me go.
Such supple fingers. So long and thin. So exquisitely shaped.
Mr. Disraeli.
So quick to grasp things. Unconsidered trifles. Scraps of paper.
You're hurting my hand.
In such a hurry to get away from the poor sick man. To get away and read the code. I saw you slip it into your glove, dear lady.
Well, what of it?
Ah, that's better. And why did you take the trouble to steal it? Weak. Very weak. You had only to ask me, and I would have told you. The celery is ripe to cut, means the Suez Canal purchase is completed, and the check accepted. Your husband, Mr. Foljam, Adolphus, has had all that tiresome journey for nothing.
I congratulate you. Your apple-faced boy, Lord Deaford, has blundered into success.
Well, that's all any of us do.
Into a success that will cost you dear.
Ah, that's the sort of thing Gladstone will say.
It's what the world will say when it knows Myers is bankrupt.
When it knows what?
Myers is bankrupt. Bankrupt, Mr. Disraeli. And his check, waste paper.
What?
What do you say now?
Oh. Well, you can't expect me to say much. I'm a child in your hands.
Mr. Probert is here, Dizzy.
Oh, come in, Sir Michael. Come in, Mary.
Miss Disraeli.
And Clarissa. Come in and keep an old sick man company.
Mr. Disraeli, I'm sorry to hear you're ill.
And I'm so much better, Sir Michael. Mrs. Travers is such stimulating company, I believe I've quite recovered.
Well, if you're not ill, why have you sent for me?
Sit down, Probert. I want to tell you a little story. No, don't go, Mrs. Travers. This will interest you, too.
Repeat, why have you sent for me?
I told you I might send for you.
Ah, Moses has failed you. Well, it's no use appealing to me.
Moses has not failed me, and I've carried the scheme through.
What?
The power and the glory of my country were at stake. I had to act quickly, and I had to act on our own responsibility. So I went to Hugh Myers. Deaford has bought the canal and has paid for it with Myers' check drawn on the Bank of England.
What has that to do with me?
Myers is bankrupt.
Bankrupt?
Yes. Russia has ruined him.
Mr. Disraeli, I warned you of this. Now get out of it as best you can. It's no use appealing to me.
No? Then I will not appeal to you. I will command you.
What?
You will sign this note giving Myers unlimited credit.
Are you mad?
I was never so sane in my life. Myers' position is saved if he can gain time. The Bank of England must give him unlimited credit today, now.
Oh, you don't know what you're saying. I refuse.
You can't.
I refuse emphatically. You've mistaken your man. I'm an Englishman, the head of a great national institution. I'm not to be ordered about by an alien.
But the alien happens to be the better citizen. Moreover, he happens to be Prime Minister.
You threaten me?
Yes, if you force me to it.
Empty threats.
You think so? You say the Bank of England is a national institution? What becomes of that title if it refuses to save the nation? What becomes of you?
Mr. Disraeli.
When it is known that the lack of patriotism of one man has placed our country in the position of a person who is trying to pass a fraudulent check, exposed the nation to the ridicule of the world, lost the canal, lost India, baffled England, beaten her, disgraced her, dragged her through the mud, what becomes of the bank?
You cannot touch the bank.
I'll smash the bank. Parliament granted the bank its charter. Parliament can withdraw it.
But you...
And shall withdraw it at my bidding. Your board of directors will be swept away. Your shareholders bankrupt. The bank ruined and you disgraced. I am Prime Minister. I can do this. And if you don't sign, by heaven I will. Now.
Very well. There. Take your paper. I've signed it to save the bank. It's an outrage that a man like you should have such power.
Miss Travers, if you hurry, perhaps Michael will give you a lift to the station.
Thanks for the hint.
Of course, I mean the railway, and not the police station.
Good day, Mr. Disraeli. Be careful of that cop.
Thank you, dear lady. My regards to Adolphus.
Mr. Disraeli, Sir Michael was panic-stricken. Thank heavens you have such power.
I haven't, dear child, but he doesn't know that.
Oh.
And now, Mary, my great dream will be realized.
What dream?
To make my sovereign Empress of India.
Empress of India.
Ah, sounds well, Mary, doesn't it? Mary, you shall carry the news to our beloved queen, and you shall be there by my side at the reception when I announce the new title to Her Majesty's government.
Make haste, Dizzy. Make haste.
Mary.
She's fainted.
Mary. What's the matter? Speak to me. First, I get Dr. Williams.
It's a great occasion, a great triumph. Victoria, Empress of India. I wonder where this really is.
Oh, Charles, I've never seen so many celebrities in all my life.
Neither have I.
You'll see them often now. You're one yourself.
Mr. Benjamin Disraeli.
There he is. Oh, Charles, look at him. So tired.
He's worried. No word from Dr. Williams for over a week.
Splendid thing, Mr. Disraeli.
Greatest triumph for England in our time.
Congratulations, Mr. Disraeli.
Thank you very much.
We're so sorry Lady Beaconsfield can't be here tonight, Mr. Disraeli.
So is she. And so am I.
Oh, but
so am I.
I'm sure it's only a passing indisposition.
I trust so.
Mr. Disraeli.
Dear child.
How is she, really?
Don't ask me. I daren't trust myself to speak. Dr. Williams reassured me or I shouldn't be here now. Not even to meet the Empress of India.
Mr. Disraeli, they're waiting for you to speak.
Very well, if I must.
Good.
Her Majesty is on her way. Before she arrives, I want to thank those men who have so splendidly stood at my side and made our enterprise successful. First, there is Mr. Hugh Myers.
Mr. Myers.
Concerning whose services I cannot speak too highly. Next, there is Sir Michael Probert. At a moment of grave crisis, he came to my aid against his, may I say, prejudices.
No. Please, Mr. Disraeli.
Mr. Myers, Sir Michael Probert, it is my privilege to inform you that in recognition of your patriotic action, your sovereign has bestowed a peerage on each of you. And lastly, you will be glad to know that my young friend, who carried through the delicate negotiations with such consummate tact, I refer to Charles Viscount Beeford, returned to London half an hour ago. Beeford, Her Majesty desires to confer the ribbon of the Bath upon you with her own hands.
Thank you.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Disraeli.
What is it?
A telegram for you, sir.
Give it to me.
Is there anything wrong?
Clarissa, I can't open it. It must be from Dr. Williams. If anything has happened to her?
Is it?
What's that?
Is it?
Mary. Mary. Is it really you? I didn't know.
But I sent you a telegram.
Your telegram. Oh, my dear. To see you looking so well again. And I was afraid...
Mr. Disraeli, Her Gracious Majesty Queen Victoria is arriving to receive you.
Come, Mary.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the curtain falls on Disraeli. A little later, we'll hear again from George Arliss, this time playing the part of George Arliss. But now we take you to New York City. Among the many great full-hour programs on the vast Columbia network, there are two that lead all the rest in popularity. Major Bowes' Amateur Hour and the Lux Radio Theater. Two programs conducted by two master showmen who have long been friends, Major Edward Bowes and our own Cecil B. DeMille. They meet tonight on Major Bowes' home ground, the great studio on Broadway where the Major presents his amateurs. Cecil B. DeMille is now approaching the dais of Major Bowes in New York.
All right. Next applicant, let me see. The name is...
DeMille. Cecil B. DeMille.
And where do you hail from, Mr. DeMille? Or do you hail, or should I say reign?
I'm from Hollywood, and I'd like to explain.
Oh, tut, Mr. DeMille. We don't hold that against you. We're broad-minded. Little closer to the microphone. That's it. Now, what do you do in... where did you say you're from?
From Hollywood.
And what do you do there?
I'm associated with the motion picture industry.
Oh, how quaint. How... Now, Mr. DeMille, how long have you studied the harmonica?
Just a moment. You know very well I'm not an amateur. I'm not a...
There seems to be so many things you're not, Mr. DeMille. Can you tell me one thing that you are?
Yes, if you'll put that dinner gong away. I'll tell you I'm an old friend of yours, Eddie Bowes. Our friendship dates back to the time my wife and I were on the stage with the H-7, and If I Were King. And the leading lady was the charming and beautiful Margaret Ellington, who became your wife.
Yes, Cecil, it was Margaret who brought you and me together.
And then along came pictures. And ladies and gentlemen, Major Bowes and I became rivals. My studio, Paramount, had the Rialto Theater in New York. And Major Bowes, who built the Capitol and still runs it, was the fellow we had to beat.
And sometimes did.
Sometimes?
Well, once anyway.
Then Major ran the Goldwyn Pictures Corporation, in addition to the Capitol, and we still fought for plays and stars.
And how?
Later, when we built the Paramount Theater, we had a great many new competitors. And then the fellow we had to beat was still Major Bowes. And by the way, Major Bowes, what's the meaning of this gong you're playing around with?
Oh, Cecil, I thought you knew. I use it on amateurs.
Amateurs? At the Capitol?
No, on a radio program.
Oh, you're on the radio, too?
Yes, every Thursday night.
Thursday night? Oh, with Rudy Valet.
No, not exactly.
Oh, then Bing Crosby?
No, not Bing either. Now, here's how it is. I am, so to speak, a certain part of a radio sandwich. No remarks, please. I'm what's between two other programs on the air on Thursday nights.
But, Eddie, why keep it a secret from the public?
Well, there's always a few who find out about it. And just for fun, Cecil, I nicknamed it Major Bowes' Amateur Hour.
Oh, you're that Major Bowes.
I'll come clean. No use trying to fool you, Cecil. Yes, I am.
And does that Major Bowes occasionally attend the Lux Radio Theater?
Why, Cecil, I'm attending it right now. I rarely miss. I owe Lux Radio Theater many pleasant hours and many excellent suggestions.
Let's not beat around the bush, Eddie Bowes. Do they use Lux Flakes up at your house, or do they not?
Yes, they do. And furthermore, will continue to do so in spite of all you can do or say.
I'll do as much for you sometime.
What'll you do for me sometime?
I'll ride around in a Plymouth, Dodge, DeSoto, and Chrysler, all at one and the same time.
Well, Cecil, I'm sure you could do just that. I've seen you in action doing more things at one time than anyone ever did. I was on the set with you one day when you directed 3,000 people and 6,000 animals. But always remember one thing. When you see a girl in a faded, shrunken sweater riding a bicycle, that girl obviously doesn't listen to the right radio programs. She doesn't know the merits of your flakes and my cars.
Eddie, you're wonderful.
Cecil, you understated. Well, seriously, Cecil, it is strange how our paths cross. We first meet as friends in your stage era, then as motion picture producers and rival exhibitors, and now as radio colleagues. And what a small world. Your family home in Washington, North Carolina.
And yours in San Francisco.
You, an actor and a playwright.
And you a real estate man.
Until the Great Fire, yes.
You came east, founded your fortune and your home, and I went west. And here and now we're together in homes everywhere. This has been a pleasant meeting, Major. There's one thing that would make me very happy. Something I've longed for. A pleasure I've never had. May I?
Why, yes, Cecil.
All ready?
Yes, ready.
This is a great moment. 1 to make ready. It won't be long. 2 for the money. And 3 for the gong.
All right. All right.
We're back in Hollywood again, saying thank you, Major Bowes and Mr. DeMille. A few years ago, when George Arliss played Cardinal Richelieu on the stage, it was my good fortune to appear with him as King Louis XIII. No one can perform with Mr. Arliss without going away a far better actor. As I was grateful to him then, so am I grateful now to the Lux Radio Theater for helping me to renew a friendship that has always meant so much to me. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Arliss.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold. As a radio producer, may I say you have once more proved yourself every inch a king.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, since I left the stage for the screen, my opportunities for addressing my audience have become much less frequent. I remember once, before the premiere of one of my pictures, I was asked to say a few words to the audience. And as I stepped in front of the screen, I heard the lady in the front row say, "Isn't he like him?" Well, if you were all here with me tonight, I hope you would all be thinking, "Isn't he like him?" Especially those who remember me when my wife and I first came to the United States in 1901. Tonight is a memorable occasion for me because, as Mr. Arnold has told you, it is the first time that I have ever performed a play on the air. I have sometimes played in theaters to poor houses when there was more air than was necessary to sustain the audience. But I have never played before this great unseen audience. A large number of you are perhaps more or less personally acquainted with me. For I've toured and played in almost every corner of the United States. And a still greater number, I hope, I may call my friends who have got to know me through the pictures. I'm here in Hollywood on a holiday trip, and have determined that I will not make any picture until next fall. I should like to take this special opportunity to express my gratitude for the friendship you have always given me during the many years that I have played before you. I am continually touched by evidences of your kindness and affection. As the year is still comparatively new, may I wish you, for my wife and myself, a happy and prosperous 1938.
Thank you, Mr. Arliss. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's news in which I know you'll all be interested. Next Monday night, the Lux Radio Theater presents one of the most outstanding personalities of radio and motion pictures. He's the gentleman who changed Van Buren, Arkansas, from a country town to a national institution, who has endowed the art of music with a mysterious new instrument beginning with B and ending with laughter. That prince of storytellers, Mr. Bob Burns. You will hear Bob Burns as the hero of Booth Tarkington's celebrated comedy, a smashing success on stage and pictures. And the title is Clarence. And co-starring with Mr. Burns, we bring you Miss Gail Patrick. Our our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday, when the Lux Radio Theater presents Bob Burns in Clarence with Gail Patrick and an all-star cast. Also next Monday night, and each Monday night thereafter, Mr. Cecil DeMille will be back in Hollywood and on this stage of the Lux Radio Theater. And so, until we meet again on the screen or on the air, this is Edward Arnold bidding you au revoir.
Assisting our stars in Disraeli this evening were David Torrance as Sir Michael Probert, Ivan Simpson as Hugh Myers, Walter Kingsford as Folsham, Doris Lloyd as Mrs. Travers, Vernon Steele as Gladstone, Charles Evan as Bascott, Lou Merrill as Count Borsenov, Eric Snowden as Major Domo, Reginald Sheffield as Lord Athley, and Phyllis Coghlan as Duchess. Mr. Arliss is currently seen in the Gaumont British production, Dr. Sin. Mr. Arnold appeared through courtesy of B.P. Schulberg. Louis Silvers is from 20th Century Fox Studios, where he was in charge of music for the new picture in Old Chicago. Your announcer has been Melville Ruick. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You are listening to Golden Rumble by G3PL.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is paper. P-A-P-E-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers and here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Amelia Mendez, eh? And Bill Albans.
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, Bill?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm almost 28.
Almost 28. Well, you're a fine-looking lad. Are you married?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm single.
Do you care for the ladies?
Oh, yeah, man. I've been crazy about them since I've been that big.
What did you do about it when you were that big? Well, I'll see what I can do for you, Bill. Amelia Mendez, de Bidlin, huh? Where are you from?
Panama City, Panama.
Oh, from Panama, huh? Well,
Sir.
we've rarely had anybody from Panama. Where's your hat? Now, you know, people all over America are planning their vacations these days. Well, some of them may want to visit Panama. How would you suggest that they go, by ship or by plane?
I would suggest that they go by plane because it's faster, and then they could stop in several Central American countries as well as Panama. For example, they could go to Guatemala, to Nicaragua, and Costa Rica.
You say they'd visit Guatemala? How long would we stay in Guatemala?
Overnight or a day, or depends on how much time you have.
Just one day in Guatemala? Well, I guess that's right, that old saying, here today in Guatemala. Bill, where do you plan on going on your vacation this year?
Well, I'm going to try to be in In Helsinki, Finland.
What's your language, Bill? There are ladies present. Why would you want to go to Helsinki, Bill?
Well, you see, that's where they're going to hold the Olympics this summer.
Oh, well, are you going as a spectator or as a participant?
I'm going to try to go as a participant, yes.
Oh, well, that's a very great honor to be on the Olympic track team. Have you had much experience?
Well, I was on our last Olympic team.
Well, congratulations. We're honored to have you. Just to be a contestant. What event will you win?
I was in the hop step.
Is this training for pedestrians? Are you planning on entering the hop, step, and jump this year?
No, I'm going to try for our decathlon team this year.
Well, what about this fellow up north? What's his name?
Yeah.
You know who I mean? What's his name?
I believe it's Bob Mathias.
Mathias, yeah. Well, are you going to have to compete against him?
Yes, sir, I think
Well, that's
I am.
tough going, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be one of the greatest since Jim Thorpe and
I
Dave
believe...
Hendrickson, huh?
Well, he probably is the greatest, I guess, yeah.
And you'll have to go up against that? And you don't get any handicap or anything?
No.
I think you're very foolish. If I were you, I'd go to Panama. Well, it's been certainly pleasant talking to you two, and I hope you win lots of vacation money here tonight. Of course, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to some words of special importance.
Take the 5-mile trial. Take the 5-mile trial. Go in tomorrow to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer and drive the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or the famous Power Master 6. Compare the DeSoto Fire Dome 8 with any car on the road today, not just on the straightaway, but going up steep hills and through stop-and-go city traffic and under all road conditions. You'll discover the sensational acceleration and reserve power of the new 160-horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine at all speeds. It's America's most advanced engine design, giving you more power from every drop of gas and on regular gasoline. DeSoto full power steering takes the work out of driving, and when parking, it makes turning the wheel as easy as dialing a phone. Get the feel of DeSoto's full power steering, the only type of power steering that takes the work out of steering all of the time. Yes, go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and take the 5-mile trial in the spectacular DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or the handsome DeSoto Power Master 6. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
All right, now let's see how well you work together as a team. Fire Dome Fenneman.
Coming.
Give him that 160-horsepower motor and tell him the rules.
All right. You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
Let's see how high I can bid you $20. Out of our list of 20 categories, you selected number 9, which happens to be cities with names of famous people. All right, now here's your first question. How much will you bet? And talk right out loud.
$18.
All right. Ohio's largest industrial city bears the same name as one of our former presidents. What is the name of this city?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, right.
And you're on your way with $38.
How much of the $38 are you going to risk?
I say 37.
It's all right.
37? A large city in Maryland was named for the founder of the state. What is the name of this city?
Lord Baltimore.
Baltimore is right.
Declining, you have $75.
Now, here's your third question. How much will you bet?
74.
74.
Okay.
What is the name of the Wyoming town founded and named by Buffalo Bill? If you don't know, guess.
Wyoming.
What is the name of the Wyoming town founded and named by Buffalo Bill?
Cheyenne.
I'm sorry, it's Cody.
Cody.
C-O-D-Y.
And you've dropped
That's
down...
Buffalo Bill's real name.
Dropped down to $1 now.
Well, here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much will you bet?
Bet the buck.
Bet the buck. The largest city in Kentucky was named for a French king. What is the name of this city?
Louisville.
Louisville is right.
And you wind up with $2.
Nobody leaves here with $2. I'll give you one more question. You get this right, and we'll bring it up to 25. Who is buried in Grant's tomb? General Grant is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Groucho, we invited some young Groucho,
Where were you last night,
Groucho, we invited some young single Republicans.
You go right home and go to bed early tonight.
I will.
You've got to watch yourself now.
We invited some
and
young...
burn the candle at both ends, you know.
We invited some young single Republicans to the program tonight, along with some young single Democrats. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Shirley Palbaum and Mr. Mike Richardson. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Shirley Palbaum, eh?
Right.
And Mike Richardson.
That's right.
I presume that's you, Mike
That's
Richardson.
my name.
A young Republican and a young Democrat. Mike, I think it'd be nice if you two held hands. Would you mind holding hands for just a second? Oh, go on.
Sure.
Hold hands with him. Now keep them that way. Don't let go.
We're too nervous.
It's the old joke. If they let go, they'll kill each other. How old are you, Shirley?
Well,
It isn't.
I look older than I am.
It isn't obligatory. You don't have to answer. You look like a real young, attractive, pretty girl.
Thank you.
How old are you? How old are you, Mike?
I'm 31.
Now, let's see. You're the Democrat. Is that right, Mike?
No, sir, that is not right.
That's becoming fighting words. You don't have to get angry. You'd think I'd call them a wife beater. You must be the Democrat, eh? Shirley?
I certainly am.
Look how pleased she is. Eh? You think I'd call her Marilyn Monroe. How active a Republican are you, Mike?
Groucho, I'm the president of the Westwood Young Republicans.
What sort of work do you do, Mike?
I'm the purchasing agent for the Hardman Tool and Engineering Company. We build aircraft chairs.
What is your job, Shirley?
I'm a legal secretary. I work for Richard Richards, who's chairman of the Democratic County Central Committee.
You're not married?
No.
For a Democrat, you sound more like an independent. How about you, Mike? You married?
No, I'm not.
A single Republican and a single Democrat, eh? You two should get married by all means. You could have your own third party. Now, what's the purpose of the Young Republicans?
Well, we try to supply transportation to the polls. We do babysitting on Election Day. We stuff envelopes, make sure that thousands of pieces
Is that
of...
all you stuff? Are you sure you just stuffed the envelopes? That was a Freudian slip, have I ever heard. What do you mean you provide transportation?
Well, on Election Day, I'd say some of our members make as many as 20 trips to the polls.
Well, don't the Democrats object? Or are they busy making 21 trips to the polls? I'm strictly neutral in this battle because it happens I'm a Whig. Except on windy days when it blows off. Well, let's hear. Could we have a little sample campaigning? Mike, give me all the reasons I should vote the Republican ticket this year. And take all the time you want. You've got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I would say you should vote the Republican ticket, first of all, for the obvious reasons you see in the newspaper.
You said paper, so you win $50, and your partner here, your mortal enemy, also gets $50. You can buy a lot of votes with this money.
Well, let's campaign some more.
It won't do you any good. The duck has run out of money. He's clean out of money. All right, let's hear the campaign speech. 30 seconds.
Hold my hand.
The Young Republican is now on a different campaign. And a much smarter one, if you ask me. Well, Mike, that was a perfect political speech. I slept through every minute. Shirley, girlie, It's your turn now. You got half a minute to convince me I should vote the Democratic ticket. Now, go ahead.
I've always been a Democrat, and I expect to remain a Democrat. I think the Democrats are for the working people, which is quite evident today. The employment has risen to great heights. In the Hoover administration, we had depression. Now we've got...
Poor old Hoover. He's been out of office 25 years, and they're still hollering at him. It was a very impressive speech, though, Shirley. You have beautiful teeth. Well, enough of this petty talk about the fate of the nation. Let's get down to important matters. You two already are, I notice. Huh? What kind of a girl are you looking for, Mike?
Well, I'm looking for what I would consider a wonderful girl, the type that I would think as much of on Sunday as possibly on Saturday night. I'm looking for the type who would revere me.
That's a new approach. I've never heard that. Now, how would Shirley differ on Sunday than she would on Saturday night?
I think she'd be fine on Sunday.
What about Saturday night?
Just as good.
He's a politician, all right. Now, suppose she happens to be a Democrat, this dream girl that you're pursuing. Hmm?
Well, I hope that in time we might sort of think alike politically.
I'm sure you will, and my boy, you're going to make an excellent Democrat. Congratulations, kid, and I'll pronounce you man and wife. And Shirley, you can be the Speaker of the House.
Thank you.
You can run things on the floor, Mike, like the vacuum cleaner. And may you have lots of little planks in your platform. Well, it's been very nice talking to you two, and I hope in November the best man wins, even if it's a woman. By the way, there's one thing that's definitely a winner, and no matter what party you belong to, and that's the new DeSoto Fire Don't Make. It's a real great car. All right, forget your differences now. You're going to work together for a chance at the $1,000 question. You beat our other couples, and the chance is yours. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Fenneman, remind our listeners how things stand up here.
The girl from Panama and her partner won $2. And the secret word is paper.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected resorts of the United States. These resorts and towns are visited by thousands of tourists each year. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? Talk up.
We're going to bet the whole $20. Republicans are shooting the works this year.
They're not only shooting the works, they're shooting the Democrats. All right, in what state do you find Atlantic City?
New Jersey.
New Jersey is correct.
And you're on your way with $40.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $40 you going to risk now?
$40.
$40. In what state do you find Cape Cod?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
You climbed to $80.
Here's your third question. How much of the 80?
The whole thing.
The whole works. In what state do you find Sun Valley?
Idaho.
Idaho is right.
You now have $160.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 160 you going to try?
The works.
In what state do you find the Catskills?
New York.
New York is correct.
And you wind up with $320.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Mike is cooked. I can see it in her eyes.
We asked for married couples with interesting backgrounds and stories to volunteer tonight. And just before we went on the air, Mr. and Mrs. John Caldwell were chosen. And here they come, folks. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. and Mrs. John Caldwell, eh? John, where are you from?
I was born in Fort Worth, Texas.
How old are you, John?
I'm 33 years old.
Mrs. Caldwell? That's you, huh?
Yes.
What's your first name?
Mary.
Mary. Well, John and Mary, eh? Where did you ever get such unusual names? Where were you born, Mary?
Yorkshire, England.
Oh. Yorkshire? Were you born inside of a pudding? If you're from England and John's from Texas, where did you meet him?
Well, I met him down under.
Doc?
Well, no, in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, you mean the Antipodes, huh? Mary, where did you get married, in Texas or down under Sydney?
No, we were married in Sydney, but the day we were to be married, John was up in Brisbane, and that's 600 miles away.
John was 600 miles away? John is no fool. Where were you heading, Johnny? Towards Alaska?
No, I was up in Brisbane trying to get a plane down to Sydney for my marriage that afternoon.
Where did you go on your honeymoon?
Well, that's the sad part. We didn't.
As a rule, it isn't. But however, I'm willing to listen to any story.
We didn't have a honeymoon because 3 days later I shipped out in the Merchant Marine.
How long were you separated from your bride?
Oh, a long time. This ship that I left on was wrecked up in New Guinea, and then I was put aboard another ship that went around the world and touched in about every port except an Australian port, and eventually I wound up in New York City more than a year after having seen my bride, and naturally feeling very cheated and wanting to get back down there.
Well, what happened? Here you are in New York, and she was in Australia.
Well, she couldn't get over here, and I couldn't get down there on a ship, so I thought if I went down to Panama, I could get a British ship, but when I got down there, I couldn't, so I bought a little 29-foot sailboat and thought I'd try, sail it to Australia.
Well, tell us about your boat trip. How many other lunatics were aboard?
Well, that's sad, too. I was alone.
You were alone?
Yeah.
Well, what about at night? Could you have to sleep?
Yeah, but that little boat did all right. I'll tell you about it. The trouble was that I'd never sailed a boat before.
Well, that's certainly the right equipment to go around the world. I think a fella's crazy to have any experience in a thing like that. Just buy a boat and sail around the ocean.
I had a book on how to...
You were foolish to do it in a boat, though. You should have done it on a log or something. A pogo stick or something, exciting.
I had a couple of books aboard, though. I had a book on how to sail.
Well, that's good. That's really all you need.
No,
now, what about at night when you wanted to sleep? What'd you do?
Well, I had a book on how to navigate.
Well, you read this while you were sleeping?
No.
Did you have a motor on this thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gasoline motor? And did it work all right all the way through?
After 5 days, it conked out. Pulled a shark aboard, and he banged away the cockpit and got his head on the engine and broke spark plugs off. An engine, but I had sails.
But you had the shark then for company, didn't you? Could this shark play cards or something? I mean...
No,
this wasn't a card shark, huh? You meet them on boats, You got to be very careful when you're traveling, huh? So?
Well, I got past the Perlas Islands nearby Panama and past the Galapagos, that's 1,000 miles away, and past the Marquesas, that's 4,000 miles out into the Pacific. But I had some tough luck. After leaving the Marquesas, I ran into a hurricane and I was dismasted. Of course, most of my food was destroyed, my compass was broken, the sextant was no good, and putting the boat under a jury rig, I just drifted helplessly.
How long did you drift?
49 days adrift in the South Pacific, looking for land.
Did you have enough food and water for this emergency?
Well, the food gave out very soon, and of course you start getting hungry. And I got so desperate I ate the moss off the side of the boat, and I finally found a jar of Vaseline, and that really wasn't so bad, and face cream, and I made a slingshot and knocked down a seabird, but I was using nuts and bolts from the engine and ran out of nuts and bolts. And of course by that time things were getting pretty
grim. Involved, I guess. Up to then it was a picnic, huh? There's one thing I want to know. Did you live through this ordeal? And if not, where are you now?
Remote island of Tuvada in the exploring islands of eastern Fiji.
Yeah.
And finally they took me off to a Cooper schooner and then to the main island, and I connected with a bomber to Australia. But, of course, when I made this date with Mary at the time I left Panama, I told her I was leaving on the smallest boat I'd ever been on with the smallest crew. And I'd be there in 6 or 7 months while I was 3 months late. when I got there.
I bet she was pretty angry, too, huh? Well, you've had enough adventures to last a dozen lifetimes. You realize, of course, you could have avoided all this trouble if you'd met each other at Catalina. Although, don't think you can't get in trouble in Catalina. Well, you're a nice couple, and I hope you win lots of money tonight. Because right now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. Are you ready?
Sure.
All you got to do is run your $20 no more than our other couples. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The young Democrat and the young Republican are ahead with $320.
You selected nautical terms as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All of it. What is the after part of a ship called?
Stern.
Stern is right.
You have $40.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $30 will you try this
40.
time? $40.
All of it?
$40?
I'm the skipper on the boat, but...
What is it called when you change the course of a vessel by shifting the position of the sails?
Tack.
Coming about.
Tack or tacking? That's right. You keep on.
You now have $80.
How much you betting? The whole thing?
Yes.
What do you call the ship's diary or journal?
The log.
Logbook is right.
You climbed to $160.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 160?
All of it.
All of it? What is the left side of a ship called?
Port.
Port is right.
You wind up with $320. And that means that you're tied with the young Democrat and the young Republican, who also have $320, and you'll both get a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question in just 1 minute.
Repair bills are the price you pay for not lubricating your car properly. And you can avoid so many costly repairs by driving your car into a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's for a lubrication checkup every 1,000 miles. Depend on it. You'll get more than just an ordinary grease job. More than just a change of oil in the crankcase. The men at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers work to exacting factory specifications. And that's your assurance of a proper, complete lubrication job. In fact, no matter what the job, from an engine tune-up to a major repair, you'll get the same thoroughgoing attention. Because your DeSoto Plymouth dealer knows your car best. His master technicians are thoroughly experienced and trained in factory methods. They use the finest tools and equipment available. And if your car needs parts, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer can supply you immediately with the right factory-approved parts. So, whether you're interested in a lubrication job or a repair job, big or small, you can be sure of this. You'll get top service. Fast, efficient, and courteous service wherever you see the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Well, here come the two couples who are tied for our big question tonight, Groucho. The young Democrat and the young Republican, and Mr. and Mrs. Caldwell. Go on in here, folks. Get in here all together and...
Here's where you all sail the seven seas.
Each couple, it says on our card here, Groucho, will decide on a single answer and write it down on one of the cards they have in their hands. Now, if both couples get it right, they'll split the money between them. Okay? You have 15 seconds, and here is the question.
In 1894, a French army officer was found guilty of betraying army secrets and was sentenced to Devil's Island. Through the efforts of Emile Zola and others, his case aroused public opinion, and he later was pardoned. For $1,000, what is the name of this celebrated French officer?
Nothing there?
No answer? Let's see the answer. The correct answer is Alfred Dreyfus.
Oh, of course.
That's pretty easy, too. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
Well, they went the limit, $320 each.
Well, congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Congratulations.
in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember... See DeSoto, fire don't make tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Don't stick your neck out in traffic. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com.
The Raleigh Cigarette Program from Hollywood, starring Red Skelton, with Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and yours truly, Truman Bradley. An Army flyer, returning to his Australian base after a patrol flight, smiled as an orderly in a package just arrived from home. His smile broadened into a happy grin as he removed the wrappings and discovered a carton of Raleigh cigarettes. They were factory fresh, too, because Raleigh's afford extra protection with a brand new, highly protective, moisture-proof wrap, exclusive with the makers of Raleigh cigarettes. Here at home in America, millions enjoy Raleigh's every day. Enjoy their richness, smoothness, mildness. Enjoy saving the valuable premium coupons. The pack with the coupon on the back, Raleigh cigarettes. Chinatown, my Chinatown. And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's brilliant young comedian, a gentleman who, if you read this month's American Home magazine, needs no further introduction, the star of our Raleigh show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Truman?
Hello, Red. Say, what's new on the sponsor? Are you still entertaining him?
Yeah, we sure had fun last week. You know, the hunting season's on, so I took him way up in the woods on a hunting trip with Fibber McGee. Boy, what cooperation. There was Fibber smoking Raleigh cigarettes and me wiping my gun down with Johnson's wax. I was kind of hoping Bob Hope would have gone along so I could brush my teeth.
Does Mr. Raleigh like to go on hikes, Red?
Oh, sure, he loves it. After the first 20 miles, he started to get awful heavy, so I made him walk.
You really roughed it, huh, Red?
Oh, you should have seen us, Truman. We camped out overnight, and it was really dark and lonesome, too. And right in the middle of the night, a great big grizzly bear came over and started licking the sponsor's hand.
What happened?
Oh, he just laughed, and he says, "Please, Red, I picked up your option. Go to sleep."
Howdy, Mr. Skelton. I stopped in to return your shotgun.
Well, thanks a lot, sir. Wonderful. Say, how was your hunting trip? Any luck?
Yes, sir. Say, do you like roast venison?
Yes, sir.
Well, come on over for supper. We got boiled game warden.
Say, wonderful, I'm not sure, but I think Mr. Raleigh kept taking pot shots at me.
Well, weren't you sure?
No, he kept telling me those little holes in my hat were from moth. Say, maybe he wasn't taking pot shots at me.
I took a shot at a pot once.
You did, Ozzy?
Yeah, but I missed her.
Mr. Skelton, Mr. Raleigh sure is some cook to take on a hunting trip, ain't he?
Yeah, he cooked something for us to eat, Brad.
Oh, he did? What was it, Red?
Don't ask me. What was it, Wonderful?
I don't know, but I think he's got the answer to the rubber shortage.
Hello, Red.
Well, hello, Harriet. We were just talking about our hunting trip.
Say, Red, I've always wondered why hunters always wear those little red caps on their heads.
Oh, that's easy. Do you see my left ear?
No.
That's why.
Say, Red, while you were there, did you covey for quail?
What?
I say, did you covey for quail?
Look, crewman, we were up in the woods, not strolling along Hollywood Boulevard. The sponsor brought along something in a little bottle for snake bites.
You did, huh? Did it work?
I don't know. We couldn't find any snakes to bite.
What else happened, Red?
Well, everything was all right until Mr. Raleigh sent out his decoys for ducks,
Oh, how many did he have?
One. After 3 hours, I sunk. Say, those ducks are pretty smart.
How do you mean, Red?
Well, a skywriter came along and wrote root beer in the sky. And one duck kept following him and changing it to 7-Up.
Tell me, Red, how many ducks did you bag?
None. I fired 18 times at one duck, and finally he turned around and he says, "Hey, cut it out, will you? I feel a draft." Say, Wonderful, what happened to you on your trip, huh?
Well, I had a very unfortunate experience with a little black animal with a white stripe down its back.
Oh, a skunk.
Oh, come now, Mr. Skelton. That's not the right attitude.
No. The animal is called a skunk. There's something I'd like to know. Why do they call a skunk a skunk?
Did you ever smell one? What else could they call it?
I beg your pardon, mister. Is this the lost and found?
You're in the right place, sister. What did you leave around?
I left my heart at the stage door canteen. I left it there with a handsome Marine. I kept on serving donuts and coffee piping hot. He kept on eating donuts. Gosh, he ate a lot. And then I noticed him looking my way. And I could tell he had something to say. He gave my hand a gentle squeeze and said,
"Could I have some more donuts, please?"
Oh, that wonderful night at the stage door canteen. Private Butch McHugh from 10th Avenue was returning to camp one day. While on leave, he had lost his hat. And here's what he had to say.
I left my hat at the stage door canteen. I parked it there with a movie siren. I used to go to Roseland and pay a dime a dance. Here I had fun for nothing with movie stars and debutantes. I guess the glamour was too much for me, but it was worth every hour of KP. If I could have just one more chance, I'd gladly lose my shirt and vest for just one night at the stage door canteen.
That that was Harriet Hilliard sung by Ozzie Nelson and Roche O'Day. Now that the football season is in full swing, we go behind the scene and look in on the people who make football what it is. First, we have Clem, the fella from the country. He's taking Daisy June to the game. Well, here I am. On my way to the football game, boy, am I tired. I voted 22 times today. I don't know who I voted for, but they can't say he stole the election. Brother, he paid for every vote, cash. Well, it sure is a long walk to Daisy June's house and gets longer every day. I got a girl in Kalamazoo. A, B, C, do, 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 do. I gotta go back to school so I can finish that song.
Why, hello, Clem.
Well, Daisy. Hey, are you ready to go to the football game? Everybody will be yelling for me, you know. Better hurry. Here, I brung you something.
Oh, Clem, a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Turtleneck?
Mine does. Does yours?
Say, Clem, as long as you're knitting in your spare time, why don't you knit something for the boys in the service?
Well, they made me stop. I got a letter from the War Department, and my socks have crippled 3 divisions.
Say, did you vote today?
Yeah, I looked all over the ballot for Roosevelt's name, but it wasn't there.
Why, he wasn't running today.
He wasn't? How'd that happen? Well, shall we get going to the football game? Well, boy, it's really nice out.
Clem, what are you doing? Hopping on a pogo stick?
No, I ain't got no pogo stick. I made a mistake this morning.
A mistake?
Yeah, I put both feet in the same shoe.
Oh, Clem, look. Here's that tree where we carved our initials on, remember?
Yeah, how could I forget it? It took me 2 weeks to get the bark out of my teeth.
You know, it's real nice of you to take me to the football game.
No, it is?
Give me a kiss.
No, that's kid stuff.
Oh, come on, give me a kiss.
No, that's kid stuff.
But here's a kiss anyway.
Hey, them kids have fun, don't they?
I'm so proud of you, Clem. I didn't even know you knew how to play football.
Sure, I played 4 years at Vassar.
Vassar's a girls' school.
Girls? I thought they said a school for squirrels. Boy, I played rough, too. What scrimmages, what scrimmages.
Is football a hard game?
You know, I should say, you see my cauliflower ear?
Well, that's nothing. A lot of people got cauliflower ears.
Creamed?
I sure would have liked to seen you play football.
Yeah, boy, I was really good. Boy, I was the best football player Harvard ever had.
You played for Harvard?
Nope, Yale.
Well, you don't look like a Yale man to me.
No, you see that hole in my head?
Yep.
Well, someday I'm going to have a key made for it. Well, let's hurry, Daisy June. I'm the most needed man at this game today.
Well, Clem, if you're going to play football, you better take off that baseball cap.
I ain't wearing a baseball cap. That's the way my mother cuts my hair. Well, here we are at the football stadium. Boy, a lot of people here, ain't there?
Howdy, Miss Daisy June. You taking your dog for a walk?
I ain't no dog. Hey, if you weren't such a little guy, I'd pin your ears back.
Don't let my size bother you, Clem. Go ahead and pin my ears back. I dare you.
And I dare you too, Clem.
Just my luck, I ain't got no pins on me.
What are you doing here anyway, Clem?
What am I doing here?
Well, Clem says he's going to be the most important man at this game today.
Are you in good shape?
Sure am, boy. Just look at my chest.
Very nice. Now put it on and let's see how it looks.
Oh, piddle paddle poodle. I ain't got no time to talk to you. I gotta go in the locker room, DJ. I'll be right back, though.
Clam, there you are. You're late. Get in your uniform.
Okay.
Well, men, today's a big day for the big kill. I want you to go in there and give them all you got, see?
Okay.
Looks like a tough mob out
Yeah, it
there.
does.
Well, let them know you're in the
No,
stadium.
I'll
Now
do
get on
that.
out there.
All right, bud. Well, how do I look in my uniform, Daisy June?
Why, Clem, I thought you said you was going to be important at the game today.
Well, ain't I? Hot dogs, peanuts, popcorn. That was my favorite number. How I love Rosso Day.
Oh, well, thank you, Red. Say, do you know who's got the best fullback on the Pacific Coast?
Sure, Lana Turner.
No, don't be silly, Red. I want you to come over to Abercrombie Normal and hear the coach of this team give a pep talk to his men.
Yeah. Many's the day I've spent at good old Abnormal.
Now, the coach is in the dressing room talking to the men now. Listen.
Now, look here, Gilensky. And you too, Markeski. When you took out Dombrowski, you acted as relaxed as if you were smoking and enjoying the mellow goodness of a Raleigh cigarette.
Yeah, made from the more golden ski tobacco.
As for you, Smith, you gotta call your signal smoothly. As smooth as the choicer tobaccos that go into Raleigh's. Why do you think we have 31 men on the team anyway?
Well, I just figured you couldn't count.
Not at all. It takes 31 different tobaccos to make Raleigh's perfect blend for unequal smoothness and richness. And why were you so slow on that end run?
Well, you forget he was carrying the heavy coupon on his back.
Well, you see, Coach, while the quarterback was calling the signals, I was thinking about the cash dividend I could get in exchange for my Raleigh coupon.
Yeah, that should have been good for a long gain, because Raleigh coupons may be redeemed for 3/4 of a cent each. A mighty neat cash return. And while that's an attractive value, take your coach's advice and redeem your Raleigh coupons for the equivalent in war stamps. In addition, there are dozens and dozens of handsome gift-worthy premiums that can be yours in exchange for Raleigh coupons.
Second half, Coach.
All right, men, let's get 'em. Gilensky, you get that in.
And I'll get the tackle in the first play.
I'll get that cute little blonde in the first row.
And everybody get the pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes.
Then we have a lady and her little boy. He wants to play football with a gang in the vacant lot, but he isn't big enough. So, Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean little kid.
Junior, is that you?
Who else could slam a door like that?
Did you wipe the mud off your feet before you came in?
No, but right afterward.
Goodness, what happened to you? You're covered with mud from head to foot.
Sure, I've been playing football.
Football?
Yeah. Yeah, boy, now there is a game that fits me little personality.
Oh, darling, you're too little to play football.
No, I ain't. That's how I got in.
What do you mean?
I went to football.
What?
You want to know something? Them goalposts is higher than you think.
Well, Junior, I hope your teeth are all right.
Oh, sure, me teeth are all right. I got them right here in this paper bag.
Oh, now how will you eat, I wonder?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll gum me with a way around.
Well, this should teach you that you're not big enough to play football.
Well, I stopped them from playing.
Oh, now how could you stop those big boys from playing football?
I stuck an ice pick in the ball. Boy, you ought to heard that thing pop. Almost blew me with a brain down.
Now you go wash up. Come
Okay.
on.
Oh, boy, I am going to wash me face. I will wash. Oh, look, Mummy bought a new vase. I wonder if it would bounce like a football. I will throw it up against the wall and see. No, I won't neither. It might break. Then Mummy would have to stoop over and sweep it up. It might hurt her back. Now, I won't do that. I'll throw it out the window instead.
What did you break? Meow, meow. Oh, that darn cat will put us in the poorhouse yet.
It always works, Hey, speaking of cats, I wonder where the kitty is. Here, kitty. Well, here comes little Fatty now. Hey, how would you like to play football? Not being a cat, I don't know if that means yes or no. Here now, come here. I got you by the tail, don't try to get away. Come here. Well, come here. What's the matter? Don't you want your tail back? Come on, you and me is buddies. We're going to play football now. I will call signals. Now, you get between me legs here. Come on. Now, when I say 6, you're going to fly through the air like a football. Here you go. Don't argue with me. Get up. 9, 22, 27, 6. Height. Let go of the rod. Let go of the rod. Oh, now you going to get it. You tore that rug. You wait till Mummy catches...
What's going on in here?
Hey, look, Mum, to catch a jitterbug, a rug cutter.
Oh, dear, and that's the new rug that Grandma hooked, too.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe Pop can swipe another one for you. Hey, Mummy, you going to the big football game today?
Well, I'm going, but you're not.
Oh, no, you take me to the game or I will tell.
You'll tell what?
I will tell everybody that you got 100 gallons of gasoline stashed in the bathtub.
I have not.
Oh, no? I think I will go up and light a match in the bathroom.
No, you'll blow us to bits. That does it. Now you'll get it.
Ooh, you had me. You broke my little cranium.
I did not. There's nothing the matter with your cranium.
Oh, no. Listen while I shake me head. It's okay now. My eyes are back in focus again. Here, Kitty, come on.
Now,
here,
Junior, I don't want you playing with that cat anymore.
Well, why not?
Well, he might scratch you and lose a claw or something. Now, hurry up and get dressed, and I'll take you to the game.
Okay, I will hurry. Oh, boy, I'm going to football. Well, here I is.
Ready so soon?
Sure.
Did you wash your face?
Sure. Don't you see how shiny it is?
Yes, it is strangely shiny.
Yeah, boy, that glow coat works like a charm, doesn't it?
Glow coat?
Sure, and I don't have to wash my face no more. Just dust it off.
Well, hurry up now, because we haven't much time.
Okay.
Now, Junior, you stay right here with me.
Okay.
Oh, now, where are the tickets?
Oh, boy.
Oh, here they are.
The football.
The seats are in the very last row.
Here, let me hold them.
Well, all right, but be careful now.
The football game we going to.
Tickets, please. What row are your tickets in, Sonny?
They're lost.
Oh, no, Junior, you mean they're last.
You want to bet?
Oh, sometimes I wish...
Don't.
Oh, here they are on the ground. Now, come on, Junior, hurry up, will you?
Okay, well, I'm walking as fast as I can. Gee, I'm walking faster now than a soldier with a 6-hour pass. Boy, where are we going anyhow? Boy, we never get to the top, will we? Boy, I'm getting dizzy. I think I'm going to black out.
Oh, stop acting so silly. We're not so high as all that.
We ain't, huh? A P-38 just passed us. Underneath. Well, now that we're here, what do we do now?
Why, watch the game.
Oh, what's the game? Oh, boy, look at them termites down there with their little red hats on.
Junior, those are the players in their football blankets.
Oh, they is?
Now, where are our seats?
Oh, boy, let's hurry. I want to see this.
Oh, dear. There seems to be somebody sitting in mine.
Hey, mister, get up out of here. You're setting me mummy's seat.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do about it, half pint?
Now, he ought to know better than that. I will take this safety pin out of me widow pants.
Junior!
Don't you hit me.
There's the kickoff.
The what?
Plusky just kicked off.
Oh, what a shame. He looked like a nice guy, too, didn't he? Hey, Mummy, I was hungry. I want a hot dog.
Now, you should have thought of that when we were downstairs.
I did, but I want to wait until a more inconvenient time. Look, I want a hot dog. I was hungry, Mummy. Me little stomach just sent up a message. Hurry and bite something quick.
Well, here's a dime. Now walk down those stairs and you'll be under the grandstand. You've got a hot dog there.
All right. Here I go to get me a hot dog. A hot dog. A hot dog. If anybody's got any place to go, now's your chance. You're going to take me quite a long time to get downstairs. Well, here I is, all alone here. Hold on to your hat, folks. You know what I mean. Oh, look what I found in me hammer. A little bean shooter. And there is 1,000 targets. Praise the Lord and pat the ambulance. Oh, boy. I got something. Oh, what's the noise? What's the noise? Something going on out on the field. I'll run out and take a look. Oh, look, a guy running for a touchdown. I think I'll stick my little foot out. If I do, he gets a tripping. I do it. Here he comes, boy. He's on the 10, the 20, the 30, and here he goes.
Why did you trip me? Why did you trip me on the 30-yard line?
That's President's orders.
The President's orders?
Yep. Can't go over 35, you know.
Hey, fellas, did you vote today?
Pipe
Listen.
smokers, cast your vote for Sir Walter Raleigh Pipe Tobacco on its service record, satisfaction in smoking, and war effort. For Sir Walter Raleigh has given its tin to win, enlisting valuable metal for active service. Now you get all the goodness of Sir Walter Raleigh's better blend of extra choice burleys in a brand new service uniform. Same familiar orange and black design, but free of metal. And, of course, you get the same mild, mellow, nut-like richness of Sir Walter Raleigh, its pleasing, fragrant aroma. Now, as ever before, it's the quality pipe tobacco of America. Tonight, try Sir Walter Raleigh.
Remember, we'll all be back again next Tuesday at the same time. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and yours truly, Truman Bradley. Meanwhile, listen to the Tommy Dorsey Show tomorrow night over most of these same stations. Until next Tuesday, then.
This is Red Skelton saying goodbye now, and thanks for listening. Oh, by the way, if any of you have anything to do with football games, auction off the ball during the half for war bonds. Goodbye now, and again, thanks for listening.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios. This program has been broadcast to the armed forces overseas and has come to you from Hollywood.
This is Buddy Twist reporting from Hollywood with the latest election returns. In the far west, it's still too early to indicate any trends. The polls closed just about an hour ago. Oregon expects to return Republican Senator McNary to Washington. Of the three contests for governor in the far west, the California race between Governor Olson, Democrat, and Attorney General Earl Warren has the major part of the spotlight. The state's preparation for civilian defense has been a key issue. Rivaling the governor's race for interest is the so-called hot cargo issue. In waterfront and agricultural strikes, unions have refused to handle hot cargo coming from a struck plant and have boycotted stores selling these goods. The proposed law, which by now has been voted in or out of existence, would forbid this practice. With the actual counting now in progress, it looks as if at least 60 and possibly 70% of the registered voters have expressed opinions where X marks the spot. In California, at latest reports, 50 precincts out of 5,367 in Los Angeles County gave 1,857 votes for Governor Olson, as against 1,821 for Attorney General Warren in the race for governor. Returns from Sacramento give Warren a slight lead and enough to give him the statewide lead. In Wyoming, a few precincts have given the Republican candidates early leads, but reports are too small to indicate any swing. The same is true in New Mexico's senatorial race, where the Democratic candidate is leading by a small margin on very incomplete returns. In Montana, the Democratic aspirant for senatorship leads his Republican opponent by a few votes with only scattered precincts reporting. On the basis of available figures, Republican senatorial candidates lead everywhere in congested districts except in Illinois, Delaware, and parts of New England. Republicans are leading in all 6 congressional races in Kansas. They're leading in 9 out of 11 races in Indiana. This election roundup has come to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
You have been listening to Rumble G3PL.com. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Old Time Radio Research Group for their remarkable efforts in preserving and archiving the captivating world of old-time radio programs. Their dedication to safeguarding these precious audio gems ensures that future generations can relish the enchanting stories, music, and entertainment of the past. Their invaluable contribution allows us to step back in time and experience the magic of radio history firsthand. Their link is in the description below.